Hi guys. Welcome. I had a another life lesson that I wanted to share with you guys as I sat here and did my makeup um earlier this evening. It brought me to a thought from many years ago. There was a time that when I lived in Connecticut, I really loved, hopping on a train and going into the city, into New York City. I would get off at Grand Central. I would go shopping a bit. I would eat. I would go sit in Bryant Park, and if there were, street musicians, I would listen, and I would just spend the whole day in that area, and then go back home. But in that time in particular, I was introduced to a store called Sephora. Well, not really introduced to, but I saw it and I would always see it every time I would come into the city. And I had never been in that store. And this particular time, in one of my visits, I went with a friend. And I asked the friend, hey, what's that store? I always see it when I come, but I've never gone in there. What's that? What is Sephora? And she said to me, oh, girl, no, you don't want to go in there, girl. It's so expensive. It is so expensive in there. And so I didn't even bother to ask her what they sold. I just took on her idea that it was expensive. And so I decided I was never going in there because it was too expensive. The lesson that I gathered from there as I did my makeup and I thought back to that moment is what an extensive collection of makeup I have and how I love going to Sephora because I finally did step into that store and I realized as I look at the prices and the merchandise and the products, I was like, I can afford this. I can more than afford this. And I began to see that that is much like life. Many times we take on someone else's perceptions. We take on other people's ideas of what we can afford, of what we can obtain, of what we can have, of what we can be. And we don't take an opportunity to really search for ourselves to see if indeed we are abundant enough, we are full enough, we are talented enough, we are capable enough to be able to have what it is that we came for. I never even questioned what it is that they sold there and why it was expensive. I didn't challenge her. I just said, oh, friend, oh, okay, I'm not going over there. Only to discover that I was able to more than purchase what was there. I was able to partake in what was there and what was offered in that store. I just want to encourage each of you. If there has been something that you've wanted to do, someplace you wanted to go in your life, and you have taken on the perception of someone else that it is not a place that you can be or thing that you can accomplish or goal that you can reach, I challenge you to shed that idea. Shed it. Shed it. You are capable, you are able, you are abundant, and all that you don't have to reach that place, you can acquire, you can obtain, you can grow into a place where you are able to walk into that thing, walk into that place, walk into that destiny, walk into that opportunity. Okay? You are able to do it. It was so exciting and almost silly when I got an opportunity to go into that store to realize that I could have always went in. I hope that you gave this some thought. And I pray that you don't adopt anybody's limitations as your own.